Good afternoon. My name is Patrick. You're all very welcome to class this afternoon. So we're going to start off in a comfortable seated position, Sukhasana. So if you need to sit in a block or a blanket, a bolster. So ideally, your knees should be below the level of the hips. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a while for the hips to relax. So just let your hips relax, allow the knees to drop out to the sides. So today's class will be quite a strong class. We're focusing again on the lower chakras. We'll do some twisting, which is traditionally associated with Manipura, solar plexus chakra, the seat of the ego and strength. We will also be doing some hip openers to stimulate Svadhisthana, sacral chakra. And finally, we will be doing some balancing poses, which will stimulate the root chakra, our sense of grounding. And we will be talking about that later in the class. So as always, it's not a competition. Take breaks whenever you need to. We're all coming to class, from different body types, previous injuries. So just do what you can. It's your practice. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. As always, I remind you to try and focus on the breath. Try to stop your mind wandering. Just treat the asanas as a moving meditation, observing any sensations that you feel in different parts of the body, focusing on these, and also always coming back to our breath, which is our anchor to the present moment. So hopefully you'll enjoy the practice and just do what you can. So we're going to start with a little basic breathing pranayama practice as we normally begin our classes. Again, just to discuss Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is the breath which is often associated with the physical practice of yoga. It's where you're breathing through a narrow restriction at the base of the throat and exhaling again through this narrow restriction. So this tends to have the effect of slowing down the breath, and also can be a cooling breath in the very heated asanas, powerful poses, which will help to keep your mind on the present moment. So you can practice this during the pranayama if it's in your practice. I'm going to switch on the metronome again just to help us with the counting. So if you bring your focus to the metronome, that'll help to center your attention. Try to forget about everything that's happening in your probably busy day so far. Just try and keep this hour for your own practice. So just gently close your eyes. Start to focus on your breath, observing where you feel the breath as it enters the body, maybe at the back of the nose, the back of the throat. Feel the chest expanding, feel the abdomen expanding. And as you exhale, feel the abdomen and chest sinking and the breath exiting through the throat and nose. Just without changing your natural rhythm of your breath, just carry on with this mindful exercise for a few moments, just observing the inflow and outflow of the breath. If your mind wanders, just bring it back to the breath. Now we're going to start to cultivating the breath. So at the end of your next exhale, hold your breath. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale 4. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. Inhale 4. Exhale 8. Inhale 4. Exhale 8. Inhale 4. Exhale 8. Inhale 4. Exhale 8. Just come back now to your natural breathing rhythm. You can gently open your eyes. The effect of that pranayama practice is with the longer exhales, is to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is associated with the resting phase. It's good to, and if you're having any stress in your day, to focus on this type of breathing. If you're having a difficult situation in work or a busy time, just to help to center yourself and coming back to your breath. Just going to do a little basic stretch before we start the physical practice. So we're just going to do some neck rolls. Just moving your head in a clockwise direction. Coming back to center and going in the opposite direction. Coming back to center and making some yes and no movements. Coming back to center. Dropping the left ear to the left shoulder. Feeling a stretch down the right side of the neck. If you wish, you can lift your hand up to deepen the stretch. Coming back to center and stretching in the opposite direction. This time you're dropping your right ear to your right shoulder, lifting up the right arm and gently deepening the stretch. Coming back to center. Lifting your arms up overhead. And activate Kali Mudra. Interlock the fingers, index fingers pointing up. Just go into a gentle stretch to the left. Try to keep the sitting bones rooted into the mat or the block. Coming back to center. Stretching in the opposite direction. So an inhale, making yourself tall. Stretching in the opposite direction. This time over to the right. Coming back to center. Again, inhale, make yourself tall. Exhale, slight back bend. Be careful not to drop the head back too far. Coming back to center. Inhale, make yourself tall. This time folding forward. Coming back to center. Dropping your arms and coming to tabletop position. So tabletop, wrists are directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips, Knees are hip width apart. Trying to practice here to engage Hasta Bandha with your hands, pressing the hands into the mat like you're gripping the mat. Fingers are like claws, like to pulling the fingers towards your hands. From here, starting to make some gentle movements just to loosen up the shoulders, the back and the hips. You can circle in one direction, coming back to center, going in the opposite direction. Whatever movements feel comfortable this afternoon. You can rock forwards and back. And coming back to center. As always, I like to stretch out the wrists at the start of class. So with your hands in a forward position, just start to bring your weight forward and back. Come back to center. This time, pointing your fingers, the right hand to the right, left fingers to the left. And again, making whatever movements feel comfortable. Rocking gently from side to side. And finally, hands pointing back towards your knees and gently rocking forwards and back. Come back to center. You can shake out the wrists. From tabletop, we're going to come to our first down dog of the afternoon. So from tabletop, you're lifting your hips up high. It's more important to have a straight spine. Don't worry about the flex in the knees. Start to mindfully pedal out the feet. So the hands are engaged. The shoulders are externally rotated. Using again the image of, imagine that you're pressing a soft ball between your elbows. Keeping the hips high. And when you're ready, just coming to your best downward facing dog. Actively pressing into the hands. Trying to straighten the legs, getting a deep hamstring stretch. The quads are engaged also. From here, we're going to come forward into plank pose. Just staying in plank for a few breaths. So again, pressing into your hands. Core is actively engaged, glutes are engaged, legs are strong. From here, we're just going to do some mountain climber. So we're going to flex our left knee, bring towards our left wrist, and alternating with the right. Just do this for a few moments at your own pace. Remember, it's not a competition. Drop your knees, take a rest whenever you need to. Come back to center and back up again to downward facing dog. Focusing on the breath, observing any sensations you felt during that challenging asana. Let's go do one more cycle of mountain climber. So again, coming forwards into plank. Try not to let the hips drop down too far. And again, just bringing
right and left knees alternatively towards your wrists. Coming back to center and coming back up to downward facing dog. Again, focusing on your breath. From downward facing dog, coming onto your tippy toes and stepping forwards behind your wrists. Using this to do a deep forward fold. So the upper body is relaxed, knees are flexed, allowing the chest and upper body to drape onto your thighs. Make whatever movements feel comfortable. Make yes or no movements with the head, gently rocking from side to side. You can also use this as an active hamstring stretch by trying to straighten out the legs, activating the quads. When you're ready, drop your hands onto the mat and ragdoll up to standing. So in Tadasana, we'll feel this sense of rooting into the earth I was talking about at the start of class. So we're activating Pada Bandha here this time, pressing into the four corners of the feet. The toes are wide and active, pressing into the mat. You can do a mindful practice here of gently closing your eyes and observing where you feel the weight. Is in the right foot more than the left? So calves, quads, hamstrings engaged, the glutes are engaged, core is active. Shoulder blades are drawn together on the back body. Gaze is straight ahead. The arms are hanging loosely by your side. Just keeping your eyes closed for a few moments and focusing on your breath. And gently open your eyes. So we're just going to continue our warm-up now with a couple of rounds of Surya A and Surya B. So an inhale, reach up, Vinyasa, gaze your fingertips, slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold, fold from the hips. Slight bend in the knees is fine. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the right foot back, step the left foot back, coming to plank pose. So the first time we'll drop our knees, come to half chaturanga, keep the elbows tucked in. Coming to cobra. Back up to downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Downward dog, stepping the right foot forward, stepping the left foot forward. Coming to forward fold. Inhale, going back up to Tadasana. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step the right foot back, step the left foot back. Coming to plank pose. Coming to your half or full chaturanga. The core is engaged, glutes are strong. Come to upward facing dog. And exhale, coming up to downward facing dog. Again, taking 3 breaths here. From downward facing dog. Stepping the right foot in. Stepping the left foot in. Coming to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale,
Exhale, Tadasana. Just do that one more time. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the right foot back, step the left foot back. Come into your half or full chaturanga. Coming through to up dog. Downward facing dog. Stepping the right foot forward, stepping the left foot forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Reaching tall, straight spine. Exhale, Tadasana. It's going to come to 2 rounds of Surya B. So from Tadasana, inhale, we come to Uttanasana, chair pose. From chair pose, try to keep a neutral position in the spine. So depending on your anatomy, this may involve drawing the tailbone slightly down, but not for everyone. Sometimes it's the opposite way. So just, if you can observe, trying to keep a neutral position in your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, straight spine, gaze forward. Exhale, come into your chaturanga. Half or full. Keep the elbows tucked in, core engaged. Come into upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Stepping your right foot inside your right hand. Dropping your left foot. Come into Virabhadrasana, 1, warrior 1. Your front knee is flexed. Try not to let your knee go beyond the level of your ankle. Hips are squared towards the front of the mat. This is challenging. You can move your left foot out to the left. Exhale, dropping your hands both sides of the right foot. Stepping back to plank, coming through to your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Stepping the left foot forward. Dropping the right heel. Coming to warrior 1. Again, both legs are engaged. Right foot is pointed in 45 degrees. Fine to move it out to the right. Exhale. Dropping your hands both sides of the left foot. Stepping back to plank pose. Coming through to your chaturanga. Back up to upward facing dog. Stepping the right foot forward. Stepping the left foot forward. Coming to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Uttanasana, chair pose. Neutral spine. Glutes are strong. Exhale, Tadasana. Just going to do one more cycle of Surya B. So from Tadasana, inhale, coming to chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back to chaturanga. Coming through to up dog and down dog. Stepping the right foot forward inside the right hand. Coming to warrior 1. Try to gaze your fingertips. Exhale, dropping the hands both sides of the right foot. Stepping back to plank pose. Coming to your chaturanga. Back up to upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. This time stepping the left foot forward inside the left hand. Dropping the right hand, right heel. Coming to warrior 1. Exhale, dropping the hands both sides of the right hand.
Stepping back to plank pose, coming through to your chaturanga, up dog, coming to downward facing dog, stepping the right foot forward, stepping the left foot forward, coming to a half lift, again straight spine, gaze forward, exhale, forward fold, inhale, Uttanasana, chair pose, exhale, Tadasana. Again, just focusing on your breath, observing any sensations that you felt during that practice. Yeah, we're going to come to our first sequence. So you're just going to turn to the right, facing out over the right side of the mat. Inhale, take a big step right with the right foot, pointing your toes over the end of the mat. We're coming to warrior two. So warrior two, it's a bend in the front knee, the right knee in this case. Arms are stretched out straight over in line with the right toes. Left leg is also engaged and strong. Left foot pointing in 45 degrees. From here, we're going to reverse our warrior, sliding our left hand down our left leg. If it's okay for your neck, gazing up at your right fingertips. Coming back to warrior two. Warrior two, we're going to come to Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. You may narrow your stance if you wish. Ideally, your heels are in line, but if it's challenging, it's fine to move your left foot a little bit to left. Left foot is pointing in. So an inhale, make yourself tall. Exhale, reaching out over the right side, dropping your right hand onto your ankle, a block, or the mat inside on the big toe side. Stretching the right arm up in the opposite direction and gazing at your left fingertips. Feeling this long line of energy from the tip of the right fingertips to the tip of the left. The core is active. Both hips are rotating in opposite directions. And exhale, going back to center. From here, we're going to come to pyramid pose. So we're going to place our hands on our hips. It's fine to narrow your stance. Again, ideally, the heels are in line, but you can move your left foot to the left. So try to square your hips towards the top of the mat. Inhale, make yourself tall, make space in the spine. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to interlock our fingers behind our back. We're going to just do this, the shoulder stretch. So you're trying to draw the shoulder blades together. Both legs are strong and engaged. You're trying to fold from the hips with a straight spine. Core is active. And trying to lift hands up. Deep stretch in the shoulders. If reverse prayer is in your practice, you're fine to do this now. If you're working on reverse prayer, you can rotate your hands. Start to feel if you can put your fingertips together. See if you can start to press your hands together. It takes a lot of openness in the shoulder, so don't feel any stress here. Go back to interlock fingers whenever you wish. And an inhale, coming back to center. From here, we're going to come to Ardha Chandrasana. So we're going to place both hands on our hips.
We're going to lift our right arm high. We're going to start to move the weight onto the right foot, engaging Pada Bandha. Dropping your right hand either onto a block or the mat. Left leg is strong and engaged. If it's okay for your balance, lifting your left arm high. So the left hip is externally rotated, toes are pointing out to the side. From Ardha Chandrasana half moon, we're going to step back to warrior two. From warrior two, we're going to come to warrior one and come into a high lunge. From the high lunge, we're going to come to warrior three. So we're going to, again, bring the weight onto the right foot, engaging the left leg, lifting it high. From here, we're going to try and challenge our balance. Going to try and lift our left foot. Try to point our left toes. This takes a lot of strength in your hip flexors. Come back to center. We're going to try and open our left hip. Come into the figure four position. Use a wall if you need for balance. And coming back to center. Dropping the left leg, coming to Tadasana. This time, turn to the left side of the mat. From here, we're going to come to Garandasana, eagle pose. We're going to lift the left leg high, wrap the left foot behind the right ankle. Right ankle, fold the rest, the right elbow over the left. Try to focus on one point ahead. No problem to drop your foot onto the mat if the balance is challenging today. And coming back to center, unwrapping your legs, our arms coming to Tadasana. We're just going to repeat that on the other side. Taking a big step to the left, coming to warrior two. Your left foot this time is pointing over the end of the mat. Arms engaged, stretching in opposite directions. From here, we're going to reverse our warrior. Come back to center. I'm coming to Trikonasana, Udita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Again, narrow your stance if this feels more comfortable. Inhale, making yourself tall, engaging the core. Exhale, folding over to the left. Dropping your left hand onto your ankle, big toe side, or onto a block. And stretching your right arm in opposite direction. Gazing, if it's comfortable for your neck, at the right fingertips. So both legs are strong and engaged. Hips rotating in opposite directions. Trying to draw your shoulder blades together. Twist is coming from the thoracic spine. Come back to center.
And again, we're going to come to pyramid pose. Narrow your stance. Place your hands on your hips. Again, depending on your hip mobility, it's fine to move the right foot over to the right side of the mat. Squaring your hips towards the front of the mat. Interlocking your fingers. Engaging the core. Inhale, make yourself tall. Folding forward with a straight spine. Doesn't matter how far you fold, it's more important to try and keep the engagement in the core, keep the spine straight. And again, if it's in your practice, you can use this practice to work on reverse prayer, rotating your hands, trying to press your fingertips, the palms of your hand together, reverse prayer. Fine to stay with your fingers interlocked. That's feels better today. And inhale, come back to center. We're coming to Ardha Chandrasana on this side. Again, use a block, it's fine if it's in your practice. So placing your hands on your hips, bring the weight this time onto the left foot. Engaging the left arm high. Exhale, folding forward. Lock on the little toe side or on the mat. Again, the hip is externally rotated. This time, right toes pointing to the right. It's okay for your balance. Lifting your right arm high. And with control, try and step back to warrior two. From warrior two, coming to warrior one, coming to a high lunge. Again, from a high lunge, coming to warrior three. Back leg is strong and engaged. From warrior three, again, trying to challenge your balance. Lifting your right leg high. Pointing the right toes. And again, with control, trying to come to a figure four. Crossing your right ankle over your left thigh. Hands in prayer. Try to bend down. Using wall if your balance is challenged. Come back up to center. Dropping back to Tadasana. This time again, turning to right, the top of your mat. You're going to come to Garandasana on the opposite side. This time, lifting the left leg over the right. The left elbow over the right. Eagle arms. Again, trying to focus on a spot straight ahead, working on your balance. When you're ready, come back to center. From here, we're just going to come to a forward fold. Inhale, engage the core. Make space between the vertebrae. Exhale, folding from the hips. This time I'm trying to, if it's possible, to grab your big toes.
Bending the elbows and folding forward. Bring the weight onto the toes. Trying to engage the quads, stretch out the hamstrings. The upper body is loose and relaxed. Letting go of your grip. Grabbing opposite wrists or elbows. Allowing the upper body to drape forward. When you're ready, ragdolling back up to Tadasana.
So again, on inhale, stepping the right foot to the right. Place your hands on your hips. Come into warrior one. From warrior one, hands on hips. So this time we're going to come to reverse warrior. Reverse warrior. Lift your left arm tall. And fold forward. This time, dropping your hand to the inside, little toe side of your right foot. Lifting the right arm up towards the sky. Using the pressure of the left elbow against the right knee. Try and stop your right knee coming to the side. Twist is coming from the thoracic spine, not the hips. And coming back to warrior two. Warrior two, we're going to come to reverse extended side angle. So placing your hands back on your hips. From here, placing your hands in prayer. And again, engaging the core, twisting to right, pressing your left elbow into your right knee, and trying to use this to activate the twist, which is again coming from the thoracic spine. If it's in your practice, it's fine to drop your hand to the little toe side. Come back to center. Warrior two. Turn both toes in. Feet can be parallel, but the feet can be slightly turned in. I'm going to come to Prasarita. So inhale, make yourself tall. Exhale, folding forward. Again, with a straight spine. Trying to keep the legs engaged. Dropping your hands down towards the mat. Dropping your head down towards the mat. Again, the weight is on your toes. Bend is coming from the hips, not the lumbar spine. The core is actively engaged. Place your hands on your hips. Activate the core. And come back to center. This time we're turning our left foot out to the left. Right foot turning in 45 degrees. We're going to come to reverse warrior on this side. We're keeping the left hand on the left hip. Lifting the right arm high. And actively twisting, dropping the right hand to the inside on little toe side. Reaching our left fingertips up towards the sky.
Come back up to warrior two. Now coming to reverse side angle. So coming to warrior one, placing your hands in prayer. Again, keeping the bend in the forward leg. Back leg's also engaged. This time twisting to left, pressing your right elbow into your left knee, using that to deepen the twist. If it's in your practice, dropping your right hand to the little toe side, lifting your left arms high. Whichever feels good for your body today. Come out of the twist. And coming to warrior two. Stepping your right foot forward to meet your left. And coming to Tadasana. And again, taking a forward fold here.
Loosen out the spine. It's very good. Just grabbing up for the elbows. Allowing the upper body to drop down.
From here, dropping your hands. Stepping back into the middle of the mat. We're just going to take a yogi squat. So both toes are pointing out to the side. We're just going to drop our upper body down. This is challenging with your knees. It's fine to sit in the block. In this position, you can still use your elbows to open up your hips. You're actively pressing your elbows into your knees, but you're also engaging the external rotators, and you're trying to actively engaging the muscles to move your knees in opposite directions. And from here, we're going to sit down onto the mat, coming to Dandasana, staff pose. So in Dandasana, the spine is straight. You're pressing your feet into an imaginary wall. If it's challenging to keep your spine straight, if your hamstrings are tight, it's fine to sit in a block or a towel, blanket. I normally encourage people to place their hands behind them on the mat, fingers pointing backwards, and using this position to try and fold forward with a straight spine. Coming to Paschimottanasana. Trying to keep the spine engaged, holding opposite ankles or feet. It's fine to use a strap around your feet if that makes the pose more accessible. And from here, allowing everything to round forward. So slight bend in the knees is fine here. Just trying to grab ankles, toes, feet, and allowing the upper body to relax forward. Flexing the spine, just relaxing the muscles. And come back to center. From here, we're going to come to Triang Mukha Ekapada. So we're going to flex our right foot and allow the right foot to come back. Ideally, both sitting bones should be pressing into the mat. If this is challenging, it's fine to place a block or a towel on the opposite side, just to try and keep your hips squared towards the top of the mat. Lifting your arms up and folding forward. Then again, trying to keep the core active, spine as straight as possible. And finally allowing everything to round forward. Coming out of the forward fold. Briefly coming back to Dandasana. Before coming to this pose on the opposite side. So this time you're bending your left knee, drawing your left foot back. Forward leg is strong and engaged, and folding forward. You're folding in line with the inner seam of the right leg. Coming back up to center. From here, we're going to come to Baddha Konasana. We're going to draw our feet in. And we're going to press the sole of the right foot against the sole of the left. Sitting on a block is fine. That makes the pose more accessible. Holding onto your toes and folding forward. Again, it's fine to use your elbows, gently pressing into the legs. Just try to open up the hips. Initially with a straight spine and then allowing your spine to round forward. Coming back to center. Our final hip opening pose is shoelace pose. We're to come up onto our knees. We're going to lift a right leg over the left, allowing both hips, both feet to come out to the sides of the mat. We're sitting down. On a block or on the mat, whichever feels comfortable. Feeling a deep stretch here in the external rotators. This is quite a deep hip opening pose. If this is challenging, it's fine to half shoelace, where you place, in this case, the right foot on the mat. Just trying to relax here and focusing on any sensations that you feel. Shutting your eyes for feeling any discomfort in the hips, just focusing on that, trying to relax and let it go. Coming back to center. Shaking out the legs, that feels good. We're going to go in the opposite direction. So again, coming up onto your knees. This time lifting your left leg over your right. Allowing the left foot to come to the right side of the mat. Right foot to left. And again, sitting back either onto a block or directly onto the mat. pressing your sitting bones into the block or the mat. And again, closing your eyes. This can be quite an intense pose, just focusing on any sensations that you're feeling. Coming back to center. Again, coming back to Dandasana. From Dandasana, Paschimottanasana. This time, allowing the knees to bend and just folding forward. Upper body is totally relaxed. From here, coming back to Dandasana, engaging the core and dropping back towards the mat. Drawing your knees into your chest, making whatever movements feel good, rocking from side to side. From here, allowing both feet to drop onto the mat. We're going to come to revolve twist.
Your arms can be
Cactus arms or in a figure T. We're going to let our knees drop to the right. It's okay for your neck, gazing to the left. Activating the core and the knees, come back to center. Give your knees a hug just to activate. Relax the spine, straighten out the spine. And again, allow your feet to drop. Arms in T shape or cactus arms. Allowing your knees this time to fall to the left.
gazing to the right. No matter how far your knees drop, the main thing is to keep both shoulder blades gently pressed into the mat.
Come back to center. Again, drawing your knees in towards your chest. Make whatever movements feel good. So we come to our final Shavasana. We're going to come to Happy Baby.
Grabbing the outside of the feet from the inside, your knees.
Trying to keep the lower spine pressed into the mat, making whatever movements feel comfortable. Rocking from side to side.
Drawing the knees down towards the shoulders. Using this as a gentle hip opening.
Or hamstring stretch.
Starting to straighten both feet. Both legs, rather. Letting go of your feet. Give your knees one last hug.
Final Shavasana. Allowing your legs to drop towards the end of the mat, right and left. So your feet are wide on the mat, Toes dropping out to the sides. The arms are also wide on the mat. Palms facing up. Keeping your eyes gently closed. Trying to observe all of the physical sensations that you felt during that intense practice. Some deep hip openers, twisting. Starting to focus again on your breath. As you inhale, feeling the gentle rise of the abdomen. And as you exhale, feeling the abdomen sinking down towards the mat. If thoughts occur, observe them, let them go. It can be nice to imagine gazing at a blue sky with cloud passing by, like you could exhale your thought and breathe it into a passing cloud. Trying to find space between the thoughts. Focusing at the gap, the end of the inhale, the gap at the end of the exhale, and the space between your thoughts. Trying to become totally present. And visualize now that your body is surrounded by magnificent white light. And as you inhale, imagine drawing in this light, pouring in through the crown chakra and the other chakras, filling every cell of your body with a healing, vibrant energy. With each inhale, visualizing your body becoming filled with this magnificent light. Visualizing your body lying in perfect stillness on the mat. Every cell of your body, every fiber of your being vibrating with this magnificent white light. Feeling yourself sinking into the earth, at one with the earth, feeling a deep connection to everyone here in the class, all of your family, friends, work colleagues, community, all sentient beings, and the universe. Staying in this place for a few moments. Bring your attention again back to your breath. Start to elongate the breath. To waken up the physical body, start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Make gentle circles with the wrists and ankles. Gently rock the head from side to side. You may wish, on deep inhale, to lift your arms up overhead, feeling a deep stretch from your fingertips to your toes. Exhale, side out. One more deep inhale. Exhale, side out. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Give your knees one last well-deserved hug. Taking as much time as you need. Turning to right-hand side. And again, taking your time, pressing your left hand into the mat. Coming up to any comfortable seated position. Keeping your eyes gently closed. You may wish to place your hands in prayer. Thanking yourself for taking time out of your busy schedule to come to class. Thanking your fellow yogis, yoginis for this shared energy. I want to thank you sincerely for letting me lead the practice. Hope you have a great evening. Namaste.